Serbia and the Netherlands game. I have watched a volleyball game between Serbia and Netherlands which lasted for 2 hours. The team that I did decide to analyse is Team Serbia. I am going to create tally charts, bar charts and schematic graphs to show how successful and unsuccessful Serbia's serves, digs, sets and spikes and blocks are. I am going to get my results from watching the full volleyball game between the two teams and make notes on them. Once I have made my notes, I am going to type them up using tally charts, bar charts and schematic graphs as I have mentioned already. Once I have made my charts and graphs, I am going to be writing feedback about the results and how I believe the team could have improved or what they could have done differently. So, I have done a tally chart for the successfulness of the serves. As you can see, I have done the chart and there was 63. This means that the team won a lot of points by having the most amount of serves. So moving on to the unsuccessfulness of serves. They did have more successfulness than unsuccessful, with unsuccessful being 17. Even though 17 is less, it still costed them 17 points, which could have costed them to lose the game altogether. So the successfulness and unsuccessfulness of the dig. I have chosen to do this in a tally chart and using a schematic graph. So I have wrote block underneath skill, but I do actually mean the dig. So they had 112 successful digs and 4 unsuccessful digs. This means that the team only gave away 4 points by not passing the ball to their teammates. With 112 being successful, that means that the other team were able to go into the set position and a chance at spiking. The schematic graph is shown where the 4 failed digs went. This is good how I've done this because it shows where the weakness of the players are and they might need to be prepared to go there in future. The successful and unsuccessfulness of the set. So Team Serbia had 101 successful sets and 0 unsuccessful. This means that every single setter managed to get the ball from a dig into a set and ready for their team players to hit the spike. This means that a team had maximum opportunities possible to get a point in the game. This helped them to win. So, the successful and unsuccessfulness of the spike. The spike was one of their weaknesses, as they had 42 successful and 51 unsuccessful. I was actually surprised that the Serbian managed to win with having more unsuccessful than successful, due to spike being the main way to score a point. I did a bar chart to show this more clearly, and as you can see, more unsuccessful. Successful and unsuccessful of the block. The right block. There is 32 successful and 42 unsuccessful. This means that they have. So because they have 32 successful and 42 unsuccessful, it means that this is one of their weaknesses, because in volleyball, blocking is key. If they block less, then the other teams are scoring more points. So, feedback. Overall, from when I watched the game, the serve for Serbia's was a strength for them, as they had more successful than unsuccessful, being 36 to 17. However, that 17 points was given away to the team, which could have costed them to lose overall. A way in which they can improve their skill is by getting the team to pair up in twos and take it in turns of serving the ball over the net. For the dig was a massive strength for Serbia, as they had 112 successful and only 4 unsuccessful. To improve their performance for the dig, again they can pair up in twos and practice digging with each other. Once they are confident with just digging while standing still, the pairs can practice moving around and changing directions to make their partner run to dig for the ball, because in a real game situation the ball is never just going to go straight to them. The set was their biggest strength of the game, as they had 101 successful and 0 unsuccessful. However, a way in which they can keep up their strength is by practice setting the ball against the wall, or with their teammates or even their coach. It is important to keep working on the set so that they can continue their strength with it. The spike. The spike was a weakness of theirs as they had more unsuccessful than successful, being 51 to 42. This is a real negative for Serbia as the spike is used in the main way to score points, as I have mentioned before. And as I've also said before, I was amazed that they still won with the amount of unsuccessful spikes that they had. To improve this, the players can each practice smashing the ball over the net and putting coaches or other team players to block them and take it in turn. The block was also a major weakness for Team Serbia, with them having 32 successful and 42 unsuccessful. Blocking is extremely important in volleyball due to them needing to stop the other team from scoring a point. To improve this, the players can do the same for the spike but work on blocking as opposed to spiking. Overall, Team Serbia did work well together due to them winning overall, and I could see them communicating with not only each other but their coach too. They had gatherings with their coach after the first game, which Serbia only managed to win after being down by 4 points at one point. It showed that they listened to their coach's advice because they played much better in the second game, in which they won the second game 9 points. I also, when watching the Netherlands game, I saw that the Netherlands were better in the first play, but I think they just got tired in the second 2 games as Serbia made them work harder due to them being so close in the first game. So this is my references of what I have used to back up my performance analysis of Team Serbia. To conclude that Serbia appeared to be the stronger and better team as they won 3-0, and statistically my stats show that they were also stronger.